Let's rock and roll, boys.
The Star Fox series is one of my favorites from Nintendo. And this fan art that I created actually a few years ago, I wanted to do a touch up on it. When I went back to it to fix all of the characters from Star Fox, Crystal, Falco, Slippy, and Peppy, this one was one of those that I kind of just wanted to improve. Now, although I did edit all of the characters and I made them a lot better because my original drawing, which you can see right here, everything was a bit blurrier. It's actually the way that I saved it many years ago. And now I just wanted to brush it up and just make it crisper, cleaner, sharper, with a lot brighter colors, darker blacks, adding some highlights and just spruce it up a bit because this was a parody of the original Star Wars poster from back in the day that you can also see right here. But for this specific video, I just wanted to focus on Star Fox, and I'm using Procreate on my iPad Pro and Apple Pencil 2.
You know what I'm thinking. Let's be honest here. You guys need all the help you can get. Let's rock and roll, boys. Nice shooting, Fox. Thanks. Bogey down. Do a barrel roll.
And for Fox McCloud, because he is a fox, I wanted to emphasize more on the fur, and I also used a combination of various character models from his past games, all the way back from the Nintendo 64, even the Super Nintendo, the GameCube, and even the Wii U games. And I kind of just made a mishmash of everything together just to kind of see how everything fit. And what I mainly played around with was the textures as I zoomed all the way into his face, his eyes, his fur, and everything from the belt buckles, his accessories. I kind of just wanted to make sure everything was as clean as possible, and I kind of kept the background almost the same. And what you'll notice is that from beginning to end, it was mainly the blurriness that was affected. Again, it was the way that I saved it in a low resolution, and I made sure to save it in a high resolution this time around. And what was very helpful was using the fur textures that are in Procreate, and along with using some various color pencil options, some pen brushes, and things like that. Now, when it came to the planning process of this project, I do remember using Photoshop, and here you can see this time lapse of everything that I had. So what I originally did was start this with a traditional drawing. So not only did I thumbnail a lot of ideas to see how it would look like, and after drawing many thumbnails, this is what I came up with. It was the parody poster of the Star Wars original poster, and this one featured all the characters from the Star Fox series, with the main focus being Fox and Crystal in the middle, while Andros, the villain, all the way in the background, and all of the pilots on the right hand side, and the R-Wings, all of the ships, on the left hand side. And I titled this Lilac Wars because that was the name in Europe back when it came out on the N64, and it kind of just fit well with the whole font that kind of looked like Star Wars. And now, what are the next steps that made it really simple for me to kind of visualize how things will look when I'm getting closer towards doing the digital painting was drawing on tracing paper with some ink pens, and this way I was able to cut out some of the figures and kind of move them around as I wanted to, kind of put them together. And as you can see with Andros and all the other characters, I was able to cut them out, place them in different ways that I wanted to, just to kind of see if I can play around with different placements before I started the Photoshop process that you can see here, all in different layers. And after that, this is where we finally begin our Procreate process.
Message from General Pepper. Priority 1. We need your help, Star Fox. Andros has declared war. He's invaded the Lilat system and is trying to take over Corneria. Our army alone can't do the job. Hurry, Star Fox.
Now, when I placed this into Procreate, I decided to zoom all the way in to Fox. As you can see from the very beginning of this video, I'm just literally layering everything on top of him. So I'm using the fur brush to make things a bit more sharper, give it a bit more detail. And what I'm doing is kind of just fixing the way that he looks, and it's a bit of a combination of a lot of his recent models from the Star Fox series, but I still wanted that look from the N64 era with a blend of the brand new Star Fox model that we got in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and his highly detailed model from the game Starlink Battle for Atlas. As I was going in and out of fixing everything, I just noticed how much more I was able to push this entire digital illustration. It was just kind of cool to see how much I fixed the eyes, all the details that I ended up fixing for his pistol, his gloves, all the little details like his visor, all the little mechanical details as well, even in his jacket, some of the zippers, the stitching, all of those types of things that kind of brought everything together. I was able to add in so many shadows and highlights. It just made it 10 times better than what it originally was. And now me having to draw and digitally color all of him, I just appreciate it even more now that Fox McCloud is just one of those cool looking characters. He has a great character design with just the way that his jacket looks like. He has a scarf and just everything about him is just very unique and hasn't really been done before, but it just makes him stand out amongst a lot of the Nintendo characters. And it's just something that makes him unique with just his personality and within the world that he's from the Star Fox series. As for the next main character for this poster, we're talking about Crystal, and she originally came out from Star Fox Adventures on the Nintendo GameCube. And although this is not one of my favorite GameCube games, she was one of the perfect options to have as the poster to kind of resemble where Princess Leia was in the original Star Wars poster. So having her and Fox in that same type of position just made sense. She does look pretty cool with her blue fur and the white cloth that she has and all the gold type of accessories all within her armor set and even her staff as well. And again, same thing with Fox. I went and zoomed into everything and kind of had my reference photo next to me so that I was able to add all of those fur details, the reflections in her gold as well, a lot of the highlights, and also just to make sure that she blended in with the environment, I made sure that some of the red laser light from Fox's pistol was all around her skin as well. Now, one of the next things that we had to talk about, and I had to make sure that they look right, are the iconic R-Wings. Now, this is such a cool design. I remember, especially from the Star Fox 64 game, one of my favorites of all time. is just the fact that it is a really cool jet design with the blue thrusters and just the way that it looks. And it was just something that I know that I wanted to have on the left hand side, just like the Star Wars poster. And I have all four of them, all representing each one from the Star Fox team. So I made sure to copy and paste them back when I originally did them in Photoshop. And the one that was going to be the most detailed was the one that's kind of coming towards us. So it's going to be the biggest one on the top left. So all I did was make sure to have those straight lines, all of that mechanical look, make sure to emphasize the shadows, the highlights in the blues, the purples, the gray tones, and even have this very bright blue and almost white thrusters. And I thought it turned out very well. And one of the final touches that I also did was in the city. Although they were mainly just black silhouettes, I felt like they were a little too flat. So I just added a little bit of some bright lights to the right side so that it emphasizes that they are 3D buildings. Now, to finish off this video, the last ones that I saved to do the details were the entire Star Fox team.
It's about time you showed up, Fox. You're the only hope for our world.
I'll do my best. Andros won't have his way with me.
Good luck.
Open the wings.
Check your G-diffuser system. Falco here. I'm fine. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
I see him up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
So this is Falco the bird, Slippy the toad, and Peppy the rabbit. Those were on the bottom right, and those obviously aren't going to be as detailed, but I made sure to go in and give them some kind of a detail because I noticed that they were very, very blurry again, and they lacked detail. And just making sure that I had my reference photos from Star Fox Zero that you can see here on the left, I made sure to also use the same type of short fur brushes on Peppy for sure, and the zombie skin brush for Slippy's skin, and just making sure that things feel a lot more rounded in 3D by adding some shadows, some highlights, all in areas where they create shadows like the jackets, the belt buckles, and even using the cloning tool on Fox's tail, and just everywhere where this kind of helps me resize and move things in a way where I don't have to redraw everything, and just making sure the proportions are all correct. And here's a more detailed close-up look on Peppy hair and the way that I fixed a lot of his fur around the eyes and just made things a lot more detailed and played around with a bit more of the pencil brushes to add a bit more individual strands of hair around the nose, the mouth, and the ears as well. So as I leave you with this time-lapse video of the entire process, what do you guys think of the Star Fox team, the Star Fox series, and do you think that we'll be getting a new Star Fox game in the future for Nintendo's next console? This is one of the reasons that I like doing these types of videos where we not only talk about the character designs of certain characters, but also the entire series and franchise. And this one being one of the ones that I know a lot of people feel like Nintendo has neglected, and we just want a straight up Star Fox 64 type of a sequel. Sure, they can add in a few gimmicks here and there, but at the core we want an on-rails shooter. And Star Fox is just one of those that was so fun and simplified on the N64. So let me know down in the comment section below if you guys are a fan of this series. What do you want to see in the next installment of this game? Will it be saved? Will it get that quote unquote Breath of the Wild moment for Star Fox in the next console? I'm very optimistic. I feel like we will be getting something soon. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.